I believe you.
All right, y'all are good.
No, we're not.
I've been good, bro.
Podcast.
Yeah, man. I forgot we were doing that.
Podcast. Yeah.
Just now. Like,
Yeah. Thank you.
What's your name again? Cat. All right. Hey,
This
dumb
is
bros,
Britton.
man. We're shut the fuck up, bro.
No.
Hey, we dumb bros. We back in this motherfucker. Back in effect with my co-host Eli and and my bro Britton, who owns Queensland Suppliers. Our new weed supplier. We can legally say that in North Carolina, here in Wilmington, North Carolina, off of Wrightsville Avenue. And we like to welcome our new slave.
The
Cat.
viewer. It's a live audience now.
Cat. We gonna
Yeah.
we gonna give her a nickname.
Live audience would be fun here.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah. We got to give her a new moniker, dog. Big Dick Cat. Big Dick Cat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Man, Britton, I'm happy to have you here. This is gonna be fun.
I'm not. I'm pissed you're here.
Yeah, man.
I'm just kidding.
We can change it.
Oh yeah.
Can we switch seats?
No, bro. What are you? God, you fucker slow, man. Jesus Christ. All right, Britton, man. It's been a long time, dog.
It's been a minute, yeah.
And,
Yeah, like
first of all, nigga,
4
why
days.
you moved to Ohio?
I didn't move to Ohio. No, I moved out to Colorado.
That's the
last
same
time I
thing to
was
me,
here.
bro. Black, nigga,
Big
like,
difference.
that whole
Yeah,
area-
huge difference. Not even close.
Anything past Ohio,
There's nothing similar, yeah.
Ohio's scary.
Yeah.
Ohio's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, I went out there. I was a chef for a while too, so got a job
PTs
out
don't
there.
count, nigga.
No, I was executive chef over at Breckenridge Brewery.
Okay.
Out in Colorado. So just had the food truck too for a little while. Had my ex there too, so everything fell apart out there. I had to come back and take care of my grandfather, and it just like worked out perfect. Came back home, and nice to be back around. All
They never found the body.
No.
That's unfortunate.
There's a lot of Mountains out there.
A lot of wildness.
I already knew you were a pothead.
Yeah.
But like, what made you decide? You know what? I'm gonna invest in fucking weed.
I mean, my life has been weed. Ever since, high school, I got into, the prohibition side of things over here on the East Coast. And that's how I ended up getting invited out to Oregon to work out and be the operations manager for 2 Farms Extraction Lab and a dispensary out there. And, got connected with, all the right people. I got some uppers that, like, really look after me and take care of me and, like, kind of, like, guided me and showed me, like,
Networking.
Yeah, I got a bunch of good older brothers that took care of me and brought me in. So I came back to the East Coast and set up shop, kind of like old school style.
Right.
And once with the hemp and everything came through, we started figuring out how, to get our stuff to be able to be legal and go to all these states and all these shops. So talked to all the cultivators, got it all dialed in, was running the wholesale, legally for about 3 years now. Helped some buddies who were from Nashville come down and open up a dispensary, and I was like,
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
fuck I'm doing.
I've already got everything plugged in, so it's like it just makes more sense for me, and it's my town, so I just felt like a real pride thing about like doing it the right way here, since the experience I have.
I remember when I lived in Colorado for a little bit, and I remember at the time this was like 2015, like right after like legalization kind of out in the West was happening.
Green migration.
Yeah, and I remember at the time people were kind of concerned about like cigarette companies or tobacco companies starting like kind of monopolizing that industry.
Sure.
Have you like are you dealing with that? Is it hard to start like a hemp business in a state where it's not federally, or not obviously not federally, in a state where it's not like it's decriminalized in North Carolina,
Right.
but there's still a lot of regulation around it.
To be honest, with the hemp, and one of the big problems with it is there's lack of regulations with it. So as long as your products fit, the Delta 9 numbers, as the test results and everything, like you don't have to have a license as a retailer to open up
That's
or
crazy,
to be a
actually.
distributor. Now, as a cultivator, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But as far as on the sell side of the plant, like you just have to have the capital to open up and have the right connections and have everything going for you.
You know what I don't like about the lack of, like you said, the lack of regulation is out here. Like I've used weed like throughout my like most of my 20s as well, And there's been times where it really helped me. I found a strand where I was like, this is great. I wish I could get this every time. And then there's been times where like I've tried to experiment with these products that are like THCA or
God, we got a story
yeah, I was about to say one day, man, I've had some bad experiences with this one. Bro, I'll start it off. I got a new job and we went out to celebrate and we stopped to get some. Yeah, it was my last day, but yeah, go ahead.
High was a fucking understatement. This was the highest I've ever seen anyone in my entire life, man. Like Eli, so we all went to this place. We all went to 7 Mile, right? One of my favorite bars is in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it's my neighborhood too, yeah.
Fuck the band. It's too preppy. I'm just playing. We fuck with the band. But there was a THC spot next door. But this guy had a lot of fucking... You know what I mean? It was
Stuff.
Like, stuff. And he
Yeah.
was like, what's the baddest shit you got? And this nigga gave us the baddest shit he had. Like, this nigga was not lying. We all took we didn't read the package at all. We all took a gummy. Me and Eli ate a whole one. We dove right in. Right?
No, he said it was for anxiety. He didn't give us some shit that was like loud. He was
remember
like,
that part, nigga.
he was like, hey, this will calm you down, is what he said to
He
us.
did not do that.
Because I had work that night, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna relax for a little bit.
Nah, nigga.
Chill
this
on my
nigga,
last day.
Bro, this nigga, we went next door. We went next door to 7 Mile. Me, my girl, her friends, him. It was like 7 or 8 of us, bro. We having a good time. And then me and him are playing pool. And then that shit hit.
Yeah.
I was looking around. I was like, everyone here wants to kill me. Like, I was fucking terrified. I was like, I looked at Eli. Eli looked like he was walking death row. I'm a combat veteran fighter. I'm really good at masking. You know what I mean? I can hide it. Eli could not hide it. It was in his face. Something was wrong, bro. He was a whole nother color. And I was like, bro, it's okay. And I was trying to calm myself, actually, but I was talking to him. And luckily, it was like 15 degrees outside. So I was like, bro, let's go outside. That cold hit us, kind of shocked us back into shape.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to him. We feel good. And I was like, all right, let's go back inside. We go back inside. We sat down. And I'm surrounded by all of my friends and my girls and her friends. And Eli's sitting next to me at a table. And then Eli looks at me like with the most depressing look. He goes, when is it all in? I was like, bro. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, when is it all in, bro? And I was like, bro. And
That's
then,
a bad spot.
And then I looked at my friend Jen, and Jen had taken one. And Jen couldn't look me in the eyes. It was like, she was like,
Bro.
it's like I saw her worse insecurities.
Yeah.
It's like I could see through her, but I couldn't. She just felt that. And I looked at her, she was like, I was like, babe, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So we go home. It's not over. It gets worse. We get home. It takes me 10 minutes to get Eli out of the car into my house. I'm like, Eli, it's okay, bro. Nobody's making fun of you or nothing.
I thought they were trying to kill me.
No, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. This nigga, we go in the house. Eli's sitting on the couch. I'm sitting next to Eli. I'm worried about Eli now because he's like freaking the fuck out. So I'm like, I've tricked myself at this point that I started telling myself I'm in control, I'm the man, and I started conquering the anxiety
Your fears,
and paranoia.
yeah.
I started conquering it, and then I actually had a good time because I was not on the ground, nigga. I was like somewhere else. I started having a good time, but Eli was not. And I knew this because I looked to my right at Eli. Eli's got a blanket over his head, and he's like this.
Bro.
Eli, then one of the ladies started freaking out, so I started looking out for one of them, and when I looked to my right, Eli was gone. Eli was in my backyard trying to climb the fence because he thought we were going to cook him on the fire.
Yeah. Bro. The last thing I remember, because I blacked out, the last thing I remember, we were at the bar, and I swear to God, like, his girlfriend looks at me, and I thought she said, are you going to atone for your sins?
She did not say that.
That's what I thought I was like, for some reason, my brain was like, and I was like, my sins? And she asked it again, and I was like, what? And then, dude,
that
I
ain't
didn't
weed.
smoke-
That
I
ain't
didn't
weed at
smoke
all.
or take
Bro, I was
anything
pissed.
like a
I had to call
month.
out of work that night, man. Like, it was my last night on my job I was leaving because we went out celebrating. Like, I got this new big boy job at the time. And bro, it was like 7 o'clock. I came to. I called my boss. I was like, hey, man. So I was like, I'm sorry, bro. I just went to hell.
See, that's the scary shit about the unregulation is like the
I don't like
synthetics
that.
that
I don't
come
like
through these
that.
bodega styles.
Yeah,
And like
we
that's
want
what
to evaluate
causes
it.
Yeah.
my shit a lot of issues is because like they're selling synthetic stuff we call like China packs and stuff like stuff that's sprayed
That's racist,
or like
yeah.
these gummies that are synthetic molecules not like actually derived from the plant.
So you don't have no synthetic bullshit.
No, hell no. I'm
Oh,
very
word.
picky.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm very
Yeah, I didn't
picky
know that.
about
Say it on camera.
Yeah.
I'm very
Shit
picky
tastes
about what
better.
comes into
Yeah.
my
So like what he experienced.
yeah.
Someone who doesn't know anything, I'd be like, oh, it was laced or something like that. You're saying with synthetics, like it's just that it could have that kind of
Easily. So
Really?
my wife and I've been against the Delta 8 and the synthetics. My wife and her friend convinced her one time to eat a nerd rope, and I looked at her and I was like, what the fuck did you just do, right? And so I ate it too with her, because like, you're not going to go through it by yourself.
Damn, that's a ride or die.
You know?
That's,
And so, well, you know, my woman's going down, I'm going down, whatever. And so she starts like glitching out, you know, for like 3-4 hours. And so, you know, I ran up in the spot. Yeah, I ran up in the spot and checked out where she got it and like kind of lost it on him. And it was just like, you know, like that shit's absolute. Like, you do this shit to people, like, and you're cool with it for a profit. Like, that's crazy.
What I took, I remember it was Delta Zero, I think is what they called it.
Damn.
But it was like that's not.
It was THCO.
THC.
Was it? Okay.
I think that was what it's called.
Oh, okay.
See,
yeah, it was like weird.
They have like the THCP nowadays, like all these synthetic stuff that is like lasts like 3 days. Like, that's not okay.
Crazy.
Like, I've never heard one person be like, "Oh man, I had the best time when I had THCP," and it's like, what?
This is a frustration for me when it comes to like trying to help people, because I'm like very pro science, obviously. Like I've seen pharmaceutical benefits from medicines, and myself, like we were talking about ADHD when I got here, and I get prescription for ADHD medicine, and it's helped me out tremendously. Same thing with weed and a lot of these other other drugs that I've seen people use to help them. Is like sometimes it's like the lack of regulation or the lack of ability to like really like, we just don't go about it the right way in a lot of ways. And I think weed and CBD products, like that whole industry, gets a really bad rep because there are absolutely benefits to it, but it gets way overstated. People like try to like pretend like it's a miracle drug sometimes. And then also, like we're talking about here, this misregulation where then people have these terrible experiences. And it's like we're preventing actually helping people with something that should be treated as a medicine because of how it's being used recreationally.
Well, to say first about the medicine portion, like the plant is an additive to your medicine regimen. It's not a cure-all, end-all answer to everything, you know? So, like, to address that, like, I think that's unfair for people to try and say, you know, this is like, oh, I'm going through cancer, I'm only going to use weed. You know, that's not what we're about. That's not what we're trying to push. Like the whole industry as a whole, who are in it the right way, you know, is for the additive purposes. You know, like CBG, CBN, CBD, all those have different properties that do help you. Right. You know, but it's not like, oh, you've got ALS, let me just rub this ointment on you and you're gonna be fine. Yeah. You know.
To build on kind of where Eli you're going, because I know we connected on the ADHD piece when you first walked in, and like 100%. Yeah, I have a question.
No.
Yeah, you're fine.
100% builds off what you're saying. Is like
Usually don't let women talk.
Here I am. I 100% utilize THC sometimes for Britton because I have horrific ADHD diagnosed, all the things. I've taken the assessment, and there's only like 1 or 2 different drinks that I'll do because edibles, no thank you. I've tried like the smoking method, and I just get such a level of paranoia that I cannot. The question that I think pairs with what you're saying, because you're like I like when it's right, when it feels good. I can drink the same product, same brand, same milligrams, but sometimes I almost feel like it's this compound effect where I can go every day, I'm taking 10, 25 milligrams, whatever, and then suddenly that 5th day, I'm on my ass. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And it feels like, I'm like, did it just build up in my system for a week? Or is it the strain? Because what you're saying tracks maybe with that, it's just the quality.
I think there would be 2 possibilities there. One, it depends on the brand and the consistency they have, especially with the drinks, like the nano-emulsification process. It's very difficult. And so some brands, are consistent all the way through. And I found that some brands are going to smack you harder on one than the other. The other one, too, I would say, like, I would look at, see what your day was like that day. Like, what did you eat? Like, what did you eat before that? Was it on an empty stomach? Like, different ways your system would have taken it in. Like, it'd be like drinking on an empty stomach, 2 beers is going to hit you a little bit different on an empty stomach than when you've had food on your stomach. So I think it could be either one of those. But that's kind of weird. I've never heard that, to be honest with you.
And like I had one of my friends was with me that time, and she was like, "Well, I'm already high, so this ain't gonna work." Right?
Have you guys ever experienced like the like that latent effect of like you'll just be going out, you're through your day and you're like, I feel high. I didn't smoke, but I feel like disassociated, or like that's happened to me frequently.
That's what I'm talking about.
It happened to me like at work like 2 days ago, where I was like, I did not smoke today.
Like
but
a flashback kind of thing?
Yeah, and I used to. I remember being told this in high school, and I always assumed this was a myth, and I haven't looked into this. But with psychedelic drugs, there was like this.
In your spinal cord.
Yeah, that, and I'm sure that's
that's not
a
true.
myth. But
I love
yeah,
him for that.
Yeah.
That's why I fuck with him.
yeah.
And we don't play that. I don't
Yeah,
The
no.
bullshit. Yeah, I don't like that
You
shit.
know,
Pseudoscience
Legend's
bullshit.
cool and all, but like when you come down to brass tacks against like the propaganda against psychedelics and cannabis, like you gotta
Yeah.
shoot straight with things, because there's been so many misleading tales, you know, especially in the cannabis
Didn't cannabis
world.
start, the whole anti-cannabis thing started in the 30s with it being associated with white women wanting to have sex? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that-
the black
say
dick.
it. Don't say it. Don't say nigga.
Black dick? Can I
Yeah,
say that?
there's a. Can I say that?
Blick. Yeah, like the lighters. That's where they got the name, right?
hilarious, bro.
I'm pretty sure that's where they got the
Is
name.
it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, black dick. It was like a combination. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was,
That's gonna take off.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
think
it.
they used the racism at the time for that propaganda. I
It was
think,
easier to use racism.
yeah.
than science.
I hate
This is the
racism.
This is the 30s though. Like,
Yeah.
this is way easier to be
And
like,
it all
yeah,
goes back-
than it is to explain science.
yeah,
to
they
a
did
nigga
that, and they pointed
that
to
worked 80 hours a
Mexicans,
week.
you know, and that's why they
Yeah.
named it marijuana, because they wanted to coin it towards the Mexican people bringing it
Oh,
over.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, and to me, it all leads back to, I'm going to say, the families of the Rothschilds and stuff like that, because they were getting rid of hemp and they wanted rubber and they wanted petroleum things, and hemp was such
Material
a,
science.
Yeah, material.
Okay.
Not even like cannabis, the smoking
Pharmaceutical.
point, like the industrial point of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so that was one of the targets of the Rockefeller family, to make sure petroleum infiltrated everything, to our education, to our medicine, to our food, to everything. And cannabis was one of those that they went after, and they used blatant racism on all sides to do it.
But like, it's easier. I'm not saying they get a pass, but it was the 30s, 20s, or whatever.
Oh, sure. It was
prohibition.
easy tactics.
So like, yeah, but racism is easier to do because these motherfuckers, they ain't got time to read. These motherfuckers going home, beating their wife and fucking their kids. And they ain't got time. They don't have time to fucking, you know what I mean?
100%,
Motherfuckers change
yeah.
the horseshoes all fucking
They also didn't. Yeah. They also didn't understand the science at the time. I
100%.
imagine. You know.
Well,
like,
and the plant was totally
with-
different, too.
yeah.
You
The
know?
regular layman.
Nobody
Yeah.
understand the science. If they did, they wouldn't do coke. Like, you knew
Yeah.
what was it? I saw coke made one time, and I cut it down from lines to bumps. That was a good.
It was all right. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gonna
Bumps.
cut that out.
Yeah. No, we're gonna cut it in.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. All right, man. Well, you know one of my favorite things about you isn't just your thick skin. And first of all, a rule of thumb with me: if I don't make fun of you, what does that mean?
You don't
Yeah,
like
you're
them.
not.
I'm not-
I am you.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
do
appreciate
not
that.
Fuck with you if I ain't fucking with you. If I ain't fucking with you, exactly. Bro, I love how you support the channel. This what made me excited. I was like, damn, I got a fucking weed distributor that, like a legal weed distributor that fucks with us. You know what I mean? Like, he's outspoken for women, LGBTQ, people of color, white people, Native Americans, for people. You know, for the vulnerable, for the disenfranchised. And bro, it's hilarious because nigga, you tickle my funny bone. Like, if I didn't know you, you look like if you.
Oh, dude. That's why I
Yeah.
got to be really loud about it, because I got a
Yeah.
certain look. People start looking at me and like, nah.
I just
you
talked to him
like
about
It
this
is.
yesterday.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like us, like countering a different, maybe something about us. So like how you look like, you look like a Nazi, nigga. And I date a white girl.
Hold on one second, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna
It's
say
ADT.
Oh.
Hey, my employee just got there. Yes, ma'am. My employee just got there.
Someone's getting
Hey,
fired.
honey, who is that?
I believe it's Cypress.
Are we in a robbery?
I'm ready right now.
Thank
honey.
you.
Talk.
My name is Britton
Can we
Edwards,
whisper?
or William Edwards.
We got his government. Britain, British. That's too
Thank
low
you, Tim.
hanging. Sounds Scottish.
That's what you get for calling.
That's crazy.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Black dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saying that I look like a
Not-
Neo.
Yeah, and I date a white girl, so I gotta be like, man, fuck these crackers. I got to, because I can't like be one of them black guys that isn't loud and have a white girl. You can't do both, nigga. You gotta pick one. You know what I mean? You can't date a white girl and then be like, I'm getting involved in all the black things and politics. I can't do that, nigga.
Yeah, no.
We call those
As you should. Yeah.
coons.
Yeah.
Me and him talk about white people not knowing their stereotypes a lot. And I was kind of having that same like thing you just said about like I was like, damn, like I'm a skinhead too. You know what I mean? Like I probably
No,
looked
you
up.
don't, nigga.
I-
Stop,
I
nigga.
had that-
Stop,
I had that-
stop, nigga. Stop. I'm not letting you get away with this. Take your hat off. You look like the softest motherfucker. You don't look like no fucking skinhead. You just bald head. That's all. That's
Yeah, but that's
different.
me too. I got
No,
that.
nigga, you look like a skinhead.
That's
you
right,
look like you got a Harley
It's just
and
genetics.
a fucking noose.
Genetics,
It's
yeah.
genetics.
Genetics and tattoos,
Tattoo
I
game,
guess.
tattoo.
Tattoo's genetic. It's a
It was on the
birthmark.
skull. Yeah.
Crazy. That'd be crazy as a birthmark.
Yeah, man. Bro, but man, I got a lot of, you know what I'm proud of with the show? There's a lot of women, like it was, I already knew we were going to get a lot of female fans, but there's a lot of women that were on some shit where they were accepting racism from like their husbands, boyfriends, uncles, dads. I mean, no, they were accepting misogyny because they were racist. It's like, okay, I'm cool with you disliking women as long as you're racist. And I got a lot of women that have come to me that are no longer that way because of our podcast.
Sick.
Yeah. So like, there's people who've reached out to me and sharing. There's people going viral sharing clips of me, like going viral, and some of them are doctors. That's the most. That right there makes me fucking happy more than anything. Cause that's why we started this shit. We wanted the approval of intellectuals.
I mean, we're at a time where it's got to be screamed at this point, you know, like
Yeah,
because
I
we
mean-
have gone back. I don't know. Growing up in the '90s and early 2000s, I thought, you know, we were all, you know, in this together.
Yeah,
you know,
getting along.
you know, I don't know if it was just
No,
the
I get that,
false
yeah.
sense of education and understanding
I
I had,
definitely
and
feel
then
that way.
when we all became adults and I saw everyone's true colors coming out, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the.
Yeah.
And then now with the last like 10 years, it's just been like, nah, you have to like hit people in the mouth about it at
I
this
think
point.
For real.
what's interesting is that what they're doing. So this country is based off stereotypes. It is what it is. We got to accept
Yeah.
that, and in generalizations. Why would you, as a white male, and the demographics within the next 10 years, you're going to be the minority here. Within the next 10 years, and maybe even sooner, you know, because of demographics. Why would you want them to remember the people that are going to be in power? Every president you see after 10 to 15 years from now is going to be a brown president here on for the rest of eternity. So why would you want them to remember this shit recently?
Yeah.
And they're black, like, or brown, or Hispanic, or Asian. Why they're gonna look at? Why would you want that stereotype? Why that's gonna stick for hundreds of years? They've been picking on us for watermelon and chicken for 500 years, nigga. So imagine how long those stereotypes are gonna stick.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
that's why I scream, like, I have to be so loud about it, you know?
because you white.
Because again, you look at me and you're like, oh, damn. I know that boy voted for Cheeto. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
the
Well, there's
exact
also the
opposite.
responsibility, I think, of recognizing privilege and recognizing like what is happening is like, okay, like she's been speaking up his whole life since I met this dude. He's been speaking up. You know what I mean? People listen on the podcast and stuff, but it's like white people are the ones that are like, nah, we're not listening half the
It
time.
violates your comfortability.
Yeah.
Well, when it doesn't affect, these people have these such small bubbles, when it don't affect your bubble,
You don't
like
care,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter to them or they don't see the importance of
Yeah,
things.
I cut off
you
friends
know?
that were like that. I stopped fucking with them because it's like I felt like they felt them being comfortable was more important than my livelihood. And I started to notice that about a lot of white people. You know what I mean? There are black people like that too now. Don't get it wrong. I know some incredibly stupid people. I've learned over time to like segregate myself or separate myself from ignorant people because I've noticed something that racists, pedophiles, people who like shock shit like death and gore, racist, hateful, misogynistic people, they all have one thing in common. I've noticed this. From pedophiles to misogynists, they have one thing in common. And he know what I'm going to say. It's stupidity. I've watched to Catch a Predator. I watch racists do shit because I'm black. I got to be on guard for that shit. When I see all these things, they're all stupid as fuck. You ever watch To Catch a Predator?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite shits.
Yeah,
on
it's funny.
dude.
It's funny, sad, but like pay attention to the correlation between each suspect that gets caught. They're incredibly dumb, no matter what their job is. Like, why would you think showing up to a house where 12-year-old girl lives, her parents are gone, and you're gonna pull up and park in the driveway and just go in that? I'm like, I went to jail for a couple months. You know what I mean? Because I forgot to go to court for child support. It wasn't even a criminal. It wasn't even a criminal thing. No, but I was in there.
Non-violent, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't egregious.
Right. Motherfucker gave me 3 months, which was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, it's
but
wild.
anyways, and they wouldn't let me bail out. It was a whole experience. But anyways, I've learned inside that what made me realize why I'll never go to jail for real is because I noticed how fucking stupid everyone in there was. And it was fucking scary stupid. Not just like, I'm talking about, I'm gonna give him the story. There was a guy in jail, he was a trustee. His name was Earl, but he had a bad eye. And we call this nigga Fetty Mop. Like Fetty Wap, because he had the bad eye, but he was always mopping. And he hated that name, Fetty Mop. But we used to fuck with him all the time. You know me, I'm a roaster wherever I am. That's how I made friends in there, is roasting everybody. And one day I went up to Earl, and I was like, hey, bro, can you name the 7 continents? And he was like, man, 7 continents, you need to fuck out my face with this shit. And then like a couple hours passed, I'm playing spades. This bitch come to the table, he goes, you mean like Jupiter them? Jupiter, bro, I swear to God. Jupiter.
Man.
Like, that's how stupid these motherfuckers are. You in here for what? Yeah, man, they say they got me on camera, so I took the mask off. I ain't see no camera. I'm like, nigga, that's the point, nigga. Like, some of them are hidden. Why would you take your mask off? I took the gloves off. Ain't nobody in here. Nigga just touch everything. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? The fact that you think you can get away with the crime shows how fucking stupid they are. I know I got off subject for a little bit, but pay attention to how stupid these motherfuckers are. I had a former friend, I'm not going to mention his name, that another friend and I that are very close, that I'll tell you out when the show's over who it is. But we put 2 and 2 together, and we was like, yo, this dude's going to mess with a kid one day. He hasn't. He's already, like, messed with a girl that, like, he was teaching, and she graduated, and he smashed, right? But he had known her for years, and that's called grooming.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, but before I found that out, I had said, oh, this dude dumb. Like, I told my boy, I said, man, watch him, bro, because he the homie, man, but he, like, stupid. He might end up being a pedophile or something. He didn't laugh, and he told me some stories where it came close to him doing that. That's how I found out about that. I said, bro, it's going to happen. I said, it's going to happen. And he's a teacher now, and he has no self-awareness. He fits. These motherfuckers are stupid, bro. These racist motherfuckers, the people who still support Trump. I gave a pass to the motherfuckers who got tricked by him. I still don't get it. I don't get how you get tricked by a man I'm tricking you on his forehead. You know what I mean? But
literally said in interviews in the 80s that if you ever ran into beef for the Republican Party because of how dumb they are.
That's not true.
It's not?
That's not true.
It's not?
But you know why I knew that wasn't true before I looked it up? It's because the liberals would have ran with that like a motherfucker. that shit would have been plastered on billboards. Like, it wasn't true.
Okay.
What was I saying? Trump ran Republican because you cannot run Democrat with those policies. I am not a Democrat. I'm not, but I know you cannot win as a Democrat without at least pretending like you care about people. You would have to at least pretend. I'm not saying they actually care, but you have to at least fake it to win as a Democrat.
Sure. You
cannot go in there and talk about Mexicans and black people, and you ain't got a chance as a liberal. You don't have a chance. So that's why he ran Republican. You know what I mean? And he's trying to make money, bro. Like the elitists are right leaning. So why would the fuck would they go in there? Well, the liberals are the socialists closely. So why would a rich elite motherfucker side with the people who want to take their money and give it to the people? You know?
Yeah. Isn't there something like comforting, at least to me, what I've learned from like Trump's presidencies overall is like stupidity and evil and bad, like those things kind of all they go together in a lot of ways. And there's exceptions, like the evil scientists, you know what I mean? Like you can think of the brilliant,
they're still stupid,
evil, but they're still dumb.
They target those people for a reason.
Yeah.
They're so manipulative. They're so easily coerced into ideas.
Don't assume an educated person isn't stupid.
Misinformed, and something that's
you can
like
have a degree, but you don't make your own thoughts. You don't think
if
for
you live in a
yourself.
bubble, you can be manipulated.
You're in that echo chamber. It's hard. Yeah,
it's something that's like keeps my optimism alive is when I look back at history, the more I educate and the more I observe what's happening currently, I'm like, okay, so the smart people are more likely to be empathetic and they're more likely to do good things and help other people, and the dumb people are more likely to be evil and regressive. And it's like, I'm grateful that those things go together because it's easier to fight against them because they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's just way more
There's
dumb people
so
than
many more of
yeah.
them. That's the issue.
That's the issue. It's just we're outnumbered. I had that.
Joe Rogan, I hate to use an example because Joe Rogan went off the edge with the dumbness. But I still feel for Joe though.
Yeah.
Because I know Joe's not evil. Joe's just dumb. You know what I mean? Joe's
Yeah,
a
for
genuinely
sure.
good person. I promise you. I could tell that Joe Rogan's a genuinely good person. He's just dumb. But Joe Rogan had a stand-up bit. It stuck with me forever. And it was like, I saw it like 10, 12 years ago. It was a while. We were roommates when I saw it. And Joe Rogan was on stage doing his physical comedy. Rah! You know how this nigga is. But he said something about the Egyptians and then all these intellectuals that existed back in the day. And Joe had a theory that what happens is, what is the easiest thing? When you're rich, you own the world, right? So like you can do anything you want, you can buy anything you want. But when you're poor, the cheapest luxury you can afford is fucking. Seriously, the cheapest dopamine reach you can get is sticking your dick in something. So we do that a lot as poor people. We're more inclined to be uneducated. We're also gonna have more kids than you. And after a while, we're gonna outnumber you, and stupid is gonna become the status quo. And we're living in stupid because stupid people outfuck intellectuals. You go to an intellectual, you go to a rich intellectual, not just a rich motherfucker, but a rich intellectual. He or she is less likely to have multiple kids than a poor person. Now, poor people have outfucked the intellectuals. And now you got a motherfucker up there that's lit. This motherfucker told them to inject bleach in their fucking arm. These motherfuckers retarded, bro. Like I'm not saying Kamala was the answer. I don't fucking know. I doubt it. But fuck, he was not. It was like that's
a little
what
bit more
bothered
polished,
me.
you know?
That's what I'm saying. That's what bothered me is like, yo, like how are y'all not seeing this? And then the deeper and deeper we got into it, I'm like, oh my God, white people live in a completely different reality than the rest of the world. That's what I started to accept because I watch them every day when I'm taking my daughter to college, when I'm dropping off at school. They walk across the street with their heads down on their phone. You know how many times I have to turn to the side when I'm walking through a group of white people? Like, because they're not paying attention, they're running to a massive man. If I don't move, they get shoved into the street or knocked down because they're completely oblivious to the world around them because they can be. Yeah. They can be stupid as fuck and get rich. They can hold their head, nothing's gonna happen to me type of fucking ideal. And black people and brown people live in this constant state of fear. We're like deer. We're always like, we hear anything. We're fucking. That's why we talk about scary movies the way we do. That's why we're going to get attacked by bears and crocodiles. As funny as that shit is, but it's because we have this, something's going to happen to me. How many times have you been with me, Jessica could attest to this, where I have to make her come in the store with me because I'm afraid. And she doesn't understand it, and I hate that she doesn't even try to understand it. Like, yo, I'm literally scared to go in here by myself. I'm scared to call these people and they hear my voice. Even though that's statistically probably not, they're not gonna screw me over, but that shit happens.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm scared when I talk on the phone. When I go to see the VA, I wear a hat with an American flag on it, bro. I'm not making that shit up. When I go to, not like the VA by the airport, the one when I need to go talk to the representative Rich, the one that helps you file a claim or something like that. He's got that twang to him. He's bald-headed. He got that twang to him, and I can tell. So I go, hey, man, I'll say some shit in there. And then talking to him, I'll be like, I have my hat on. I'll be like, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just tired of these damn liberals, man. I fucking I do it, bro. I see the shit on the wall. He's got Make America Great Again and all this shit. And that man will literally fuck you over if he thinks you're a liberal. I promise you.
That's wild.
I'm not, bro. You can tell. Like, why would he? These motherfuckers. I've learned something over time that these people, to be a conservative, you have to hate something. Over time, it may not be black people, but it's something. You hate something. That's the only reason to vote that way. You can't say it's fiscally smart because they only help the 0.1%. So how are you benefiting from that shit? You know what I mean? So like when they say, it's like they either hate gay people or Muslims or black people or Mexicans or electric cars or vegans and vegetarians. They hate something. Trans people, drag queens. That's why when you listen to a liberal rally, and I'm not liberal, but I am progressive. I care about going forward as a society.
Sure, yeah,
Like,
evolving in the right way.
but listen to a liberal. I'm not saying this to say they're better either, but listen to a liberal rally and a conservative rally. Like, pay attention to it. You know what I mean? One of them is going to be talking about healthcare. I'm not going to say who it is. One's going to talk about healthcare, wages, diseases, affordable housing, preventing crime. Because being hard on crime just puts you in prison. They don't want to stop the crime from happening. They talk about preventing crime, free college tuitions. And then you go to the other one, they talking about trans kids. They're talking about drag queens. They're talking about Muslims. They're talking about Mexicans. Yeah. They're talking about shit. So you ignore the fact that they're robbing your fucking ass, and they vote that way every fucking year. You could show it to them. Go to the rally with them. We're going to take you to 2 different rallies. We're going to blindfold you. And I want you to pick which one is right-leaning. And one of them's going to talk about how much they hate shit, and the other one's going to talk about shit that makes longevity better. So, like, I'm just honestly, I'm tired of pretending like it's both sides.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of pretending like it's both sides.
Let me ask you this. So, like, do you feel like you ever had like maybe not a wake up moment, but like some sort of like I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to explain. I remember one night me and him were hanging out and we were just like playing some video games, and he started breaking down history to me of Black history of just like after emancipation and how quickly the police force or the KKK became the like police force, and privatizing the prisons, and then Jim Crow. He walked me through a lot of the history from, you know, like the 1960s up until present day. I remember just leaving that night being like, holy shit, I didn't realize how ignorant I was. I don't know you or your background, but did you have an experience like that where you kind of realized like the bubble that you were in, or were you exposed to the cultures more?
I think with my little bit of tism, like I was a kid who like obsessed with the History Channel growing up, and that was all I watched. And I learned early about some of the stuff here in Wilmington that wasn't being taught, so it like really like made me dive into it. And one night, I think it was, I had some buddies over. I think I had to be like, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade. It was pretty young, you know. And my grandmother, you know, being a Southern woman, was like, you be proud of your roots, you know. So I had all these little flags in my room because being a little nerdy autistic kid, and I had a Confederate flag up there. And when we went to go to bed, my homie looked at me and goes like, so like, what does that mean for you, you know? And I couldn't answer that properly. I was like, well, you know, like my grandmother said, be true, you know, be proud of who you are. And he was like, but what if that like hurts me that you have that on your wall? And I was like, wait a second, hold on. Like, and took a whole like night talking with him, and like immediately took it down, talked with him. And that was when I started like really diving into the untaught history of America.
Damn.
You know, and I think, you know, they purposely do that to us, you know, to keep us ignorant, to keep people shackled, to keep, you know, people suppressed. And, like, just in Wilmington alone, I don't know if you guys know, like, the coup and everything that had happened here, you know.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just like
I remember learning about that, too.
massacre happened here.
So there's been several things I've learned that just made me be like, what the fuck? I got like mad when I learned about these things. I was like, what we were talking about like Thomas Jefferson and like, you know, like all these white people and like this story that gets painted to you in at least the public schools that I went to up north. And I just learned on the way here about the Buffalo Soldiers. And I learned that they had the lowest desert. What's the term for it when you like not going AWOL? Basically, like the Buffalo Soldiers like never left. Yeah, they never fled. They stayed their fucking ground. And then these motherfuckers, after fighting, like some of them starting the Civil War and then beyond, in 1917 in Houston, it was the Logan base. It was something happened where there was these racial. They were harassing these women, these black women, and the black people in Houston. And some previous Buffalo Soldiers came out in defense and were like, "Hey, we fought for this country. We are standing, you know, like we were standing our ground." And we hanged 13 veterans, black veterans, hanged them that fought for the country.
I mean, it was all the way up to World War II, even, and like sooner than that they were still like fighting and dying for our country and being treated like.
This is why
bravely.
I talk black men out of going to the military today. And I used to tell them all the time, it's a great stepping stone. I don't say that anymore. It's because being a black veteran doesn't count. There's nothing you can do that won't make you a nigger. Like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Like, I ain't going to mention the guy's name, but there's a podcast that's shitting on me right now, but I don't watch him. I blocked him. He has people messaging me randomly calling me a pussy and shit. What he's doing is begging for me to debate him. It's
Mm-hmm.
obvious, like, please debate me by having random people text me. I do not respond. I don't give them no energy. But I don't get the same respect other veterans. I'm a fucking combat veteran. I was in fucking Fallujah. Rich will tell you how those dudes are worshipped. Rich will tell you, like, those dudes are appreciated and worshiped, not me. And I was in the shit. I was in New York Times, Leatherneck Magazine. I had a fucking journalist follow me around. He put me in his book. Should have been heavily awarded for the shit that I did. You know what I mean? But they don't have the same respect for me than they do white dudes shooting into empty fucking buildings. Like, I remember that shit. I don't forget that shit. I remember white dudes, we find a bomb in the road. We were doing a patrol, and you see something like a wire sticking up out the ground, and it looks like an IED. They're kicking it to look tough. And I remember that shit, man. I remember them pissing in bottles and giving it to the kids. Rich, am I lying? Pissing that out. The white boys love that shit, man. Like, it was weird. And you know what I used to tell them? That's why the war lasted so long. You're creating more and more enemy. And them white boys were not over there for country and freedom. They were over there to hurt people who didn't look like them, and they enjoyed the fuck out of it. I listened to the towel head, the dirt squirrel, the fucking the sand nigger. I heard all that shit. I paid attention and I soaked that shit in. And the reason why I ended up on New York Times because I was sitting down, the journalist was there, and I was smoking a fucking cigarette because I used to smoke cigarettes. And I was sitting out front the COC, and I said, "Why the fuck are we over here?" I said, "These kids, we were going to patrol. These kids were begging us for water and food, begging." I'm like, how the fuck are they I remember this verbatim. I said, how the fuck are these people a threat to the most powerful country in the world? We made their military, which was one of the most powerful militaries in the world, fold within months. Russia is folding from us handing weapons to Ukraine. We ain't even fighting. Russia getting their ass whooped. They're invading Russia. Moscow's being hit by fucking with our weapons without us getting involved. We're destroying one of the most powerful militaries in the world by helping, not even getting involved. Imagine if we were involved. You see what I'm saying? How the fuck are these poor ass people a threat to us? It didn't make any sense. And every time me and the black guys and brown guys, we would notice it after a while. We started banding together because we started to notice, like, man, what the fuck they doing? It felt like I was oppressing people. It didn't feel good, bro. I'm not proud of my fucking service, bro. That's why you don't hear me bragging about shit. Like, I was not proud of the shit I had to do over there, man. After a while, I went over there thinking, man, 9/11, I'm finna hunt these motherfuckers down. After about 4 or 5 months, it was like, I'm bringing my bros home. It was about literally, it's cliche, but it was about the motherfuckers to your left and your right after that. And I still have fucked up nightmares and shit from the experience over there, you know? But it's weird noticing that, like, it's something nobody's talking about that people are suffering from, and it's a German word. And I forget the name and how to pronounce it. What is it called? Schwartender or something like that?
I know. You showed it to me. I can't remember.
It's a German word. It describes people who enjoy the suffering of others. And I think there's a large demographic within the white population that enjoys that shit.
I think that's, like, historically, like, passed down. Just like trauma
culturally
is passed down. Yeah, it's culturally passed down. And I don't know. I feel like, especially here recently, like, seeing how divided we are in this country, and, like, seeing it being majority, like, by race in my world, and, you know, hearing how people are talking and shit is just I don't understand how we continue to do this over and over again, you know.
I'll explain it. I know why.
You know, it's like history repeats itself.
I know why.
You know, it's like,
I know why it's happening. I know why it's happening. It's because, so my grandma used to say some shit back in the day. My grandma was like, I wouldn't call her racist because she's black. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't have, like, a physical racism, but she had, like, a fear of white people. You know what I mean? Because she lived in rural Louisiana coming up. She was born in the fucking 30s. You know what I mean? So, like, rural Louisiana is a different experience than white people, and especially back in the day. And my grandma used to say, I used to have a lot of white friends. I still do. She would be like, you be careful around them white folks, because as soon as they get as soon as they feel like things are okay and they can get away with it, they're going to do it. But my grandmother would group all white people like that.
I mean, that's the experience.
Yeah. I was much better at telling, like, you know, that I could tell, like, before you even open your mouth, like, I can't really fuck with you, you know? So, but what's funny is that today that's coming true. She was alluding to them not having power and not being able to do anything. So people haven't changed, the laws have. And now they feel safe. They're just stupid. They're not actually safe. They just feel like they're safe enough to be Chud the Builder. You know what I mean? I have a guy, I fought, hey, Trevor White, I saw them fucking messages you posted, bitch. I saw them messages you posted, bitch. And we fought. You talking about calling people N-words and shit, bro? And you talking about turning pro? I gotta see you, bro. You can have my check, G. On the life of my children, you can have my check. I want to fight you for free. And you've been telling people to get in the cage with you. Like, I want to fight you for free, and they're gonna need 2 referees, G. I'm not even joking. There's no smiles on my face. I'm gonna try to take your fucking life from the shit you said, bro. It's not you being. This is like, it feels physical. Like you would hurt somebody of color if you could. I want to take your fucking life in the cage, bro. And I'm going to do that. That referee better be strong as fuck, nigga. Strong. I'm not fucking playing, bro. I saw that. I'm going to post the pictures, Trevor. And I know you was a fucking pedophile. Didn't you get in trouble, motherfucker, for peeping time on little kids? Yeah, nigga, you going to make this fun. I'm going to make it. I hope it's a 5-round fight, too, nigga. I'm not going to knock you out. I'm going to torture your bitch ass. And I'm every time I hit your bitch ass, I'm gonna name a motherfucking a black person in history every time I touch your motherfucking ass. You bitch ass motherfucker. I'm sorry.
Probably.
No, I'm good because you just spit everywhere. I'm gonna try him after.
spit on me
I'm
too.
sorry, but Trevor, you remember Trevor? I fought him, bro.
What'd you say? I missed all that.
Yeah, bro. Like for
Me
real,
differently.
bro. Like I'm dead fucking serious.
No, fuck
bro.
pedophiles.
Yeah, he
No, I
said
won't fight him.
some super racist shit. I'm gonna show
Really?
you the pictures and shit.
Yeah.
The screenshot.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah, well.
Kind of getting back to you talking about with the that friend the experience you had where you he said that like that flag hurts me.
Yeah.
You took it down. I've been reflecting on like periods in history where heinous, terrible things were happening,
damn.
and how many people just sat on the sideline. Yeah, it's just strong.
Yeah,
And
bro.
like
Ralph's Cravings. Let me drop this real quick.
Show it on the camera real quick.
The gooey butter cookies, man. Life-changing cookies.
Just like butter and sugar.
Yeah.
No good.
Ralph's Cravings.
Well, like
Check him
sugar
out.
and
He's
butter.
over at the Rift.
Hold on a second. Those are actual cookies or are they?
Yeah, man. No, they're not medicated. Yeah, yeah.
Cialis in it.
But they're nice. Sorry, bro.
You're good. But like I've been reflecting on like those points of history, slavery, Holocaust, like you name it, anytime terrible things happening. And I like to imagine that most people would be like, if I was alive during the time, like, of course I wouldn't support that. Of course I would. And it's like, but these things happened.
They're
and there was a
happening
lot
today.
of us.
No, they're
they're
happening.
happening right now.
today.
And,
Won't do anything.
and there's
And
a
we're
lot
seeing
of
where
us.
the lines in the sands are with people.
And what's funny, it's easier to support it today.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
won't.
So it's
because
like,
it's polished. It's nice. It's packaged. It looks nice. You know?
I guess I just wonder is like, how do you, people like me and you who are like, you're like the wool got pulled over our eyes and it's like, okay, I see, I'm not gonna say see the truth now, but I understand more
Learning.
of the history and the ignorance that I was raised in, and it came out of it. It's like part of me wants to be like, no, that was intrinsic to my personality and who I was, and that was always gonna happen regardless if I met Trey or someone else. But I don't know. I can't like say what an alternative version of me. I just know what I am today. But it makes me think of other people. I'm like, damn, did you just not meet the person that helped you come out of it, or do you not have the ability to come out of it?
I think a lot of people, especially in the white sector in America, have had such like plush lives. Like they don't have to go through shit. They don't have to like struggle or like go through something traumatic to like create empathy in some ways. You know, like I think for me, one of the things that why I really stood up early for injustices is that I was sexually assaulted as a child. So like not being protected at all by adults or anything like that because boys don't get raped, like when I told people like nothing happened kind of shit. So like to me it like set a fire immediately for like all injustices and like I've never calmed that flame
He's
down
like me.
and I think it's because of an experience, and then having conversations with people and really like giving a fuck about learning other people instead of being fearful about what you don't know. And that's a big thing that I see is like it's easy to hate what you don't understand or don't know.
Yeah.
But like why can't you put yourself in a situation to learn about it?
Yeah.
I just saw a little
You know.
white privilege here.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned you were sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
When I mentioned it, he made fun of me. Just want you to know.
Well,
my
I-
best friend's racist. My best friend's racist. No, bro, fuck that, bro. He made fun of me, Rich.
I did make fun of you, but it's more because he
Ask me
deserved.
if it hurt.
It's more because he deserved it. It has less to do
I
with the
deserved
race
it?
thing.
I deserve that to happen to me. It was
Hot
a bad
take.
choice of words,
Hot
bro.
take. Hot
Oh,
take.
what
I
the fuck? I'm gonna rape him after this.
the,
Buck busting.
You see how it hurts?
Look up buck busting.
yeah, man, that's the
a
type of
terrible
shit.
thing,
Yeah, that's
bro.
the type of
buck
shit.
busting.
I don't know about that.
Buck busting is when the slave owners used to take the male slave and fuck him in front of his family to break his role he had. Not making it up. That's a real thing. They used to rape him. Like, bro, we're dealing with, and my favorite thing is people talk about man, white people weren't rich enough to own slaves. I said that's true. There was millions of slaves though, nigga. So hold up. That's why you worked the fields. You weren't working. You were walking the fields, keeping the slaves in line. And the slaves looked at you and the owner as completely two different people, because the owner was clean. He was in the house. You were red because you were outside all day. And guess what we start calling them? Rednecks. And that's why you talk to a black person in private and ask them how do they feel when they see a redneck. Literally what happens to you. And I wholeheartedly think it's some almost evolutionary where a trait is passed down, because when you're a slave, you have that fear of certain people. The ones doing the raping and beating and torturing were rednecks, not the slave owners. It was the rednecks that they were too poor to own the slaves, but they had to keep the slaves in check. You know what I mean? They hunted the slaves down with the dogs and tortured them and raped them and beat them. And so fuck ADHD, help me.
Spiders.
Rednecks.
Yeah. We developed this natural fear of them, like not like on guard of them. And what's funny is that it's still like that.
I mean, it's
today.
deep-rooted generational trauma.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep-rooted.
Deep-rooted, and there has not been much of like efforts to try and even like reconcile on top of it. You know, like there's like small acknowledgments by America, but like it's not like we're creating an equal opportunity for anyone who's
equality is not a good thing if you don't believe in yourself. Like if like me, I feel like I'll fight anybody, but I believe in myself. You get what I'm saying? But like when you don't believe in yourself and you hate yourself and you think highly of others and pretend like they're less than you, when things equal, you get nervous because you can't compete. You can't compete with equality. I want to talk about something before we get out of here. There's a correlation between these people who love Trump now, like right now still. And they want the statues of Confederate generals and shit hung up, and their Confederate flag is their history. Be proud of it. Why the fuck would you be proud of raping and owning people? And I like to remind them, I don't tell them why you want the statues of generals up. I go like this. Why do you guys keep wanting to erect statues of pedophiles and human traffickers? And they go, what? They're not human. Yes, nigga, they were the king, supreme pedophiles and human traffickers. They the goats. When it comes to they the Jordans and Bruns of the world, nigga. When it comes to it, and they sit down there looking stupid as fuck. I was like, bro, why y'all like the pedophiles?
Yeah.
Now, your favorite people are accused of pedophilia, not by some retarded fucking far right fucking Michelle Obama's got a dick fucking bullshit that they have no facts on.
Yeah.
I mean actual Epstein file shit, and y'all praise these people and you praise the slave owners is because they see themselves in those people. I genuinely believe this has got nothing to do with politics. I think we have at least 30% of America is sick.
Yeah.
What do they say every time a school gets shot up?
The mental health and medicine.
So they're telling us it's always mental health. So okay, then you got a mental health issue.
Yeah, and then when it's gang violence,
they're animals.
Yeah,
they're thugs. They don't have mental health. They don't have PTSD. They don't have generational trauma. They should go to prison.
Or it's the trans kids who are on all the medicines and all.
Yeah,
the things.
yeah. But it's not a white dude. That's white Christian dude
every time.
Yeah, 90% of them are not white Christian dudes, but. This one motherfucker, when I was working with him, was like, yo, look, you see that trans person shot up the school? And I was like, now you care? 300 happen a year.
Yeah.
You care about this one? Come on, man. What is wrong with them, bro?
Shit's crazy. When we look back on this point of history, there's going to be like case studies done on when you look back on like Watergate or Monica Lewinsky, like all these other things that have like really damaged political careers. And then you look at Trump. You'd be like, this dude every day says something that's like
Would've
highly
been-
controversial.
He destroyed
for people.
the Republican
Yeah,
Party.
and it's like
he
but
ripped it apart.
I'm so grateful he did. If we make it past, like, if we make it to the future,
November?
you know what I mean?
We're about to find
November,
out.
yeah, we'll find out. If we make it to the other side of this shit and humanity thrives, in 20 years from now, we'll be grateful because this dude like showed like he will drag them to hell with him, man. They latched on to this motherfucker in a way we were like,
It's gonna get. It's gonna get. So I've been telling him this. A lot of things I've predicted over the years has come true, and it's not. I don't guess either. I also predict one more thing, and I'm gonna say it live right here. We have not seen the ugliest because Trump is not. It's not looking good for him. It is not like everybody's turning on him. Everything's looking blue. Nigga, Texas is fighting to be blue, which is fucking nuts.
Crazy.
Blows my Florida's fighting to be blue. Like, what Trump has done has scared people to socialism. And the people, all the senators that are running, they're a lot of them are socialist leaning. Like Madami's fucking killing it in New York right now. Like, and what you're doing is scaring people. And you pair that with AI, people losing their jobs, the economy going to shit, people going to be screaming for socialism soon. Because what they're not going to do is starve. That's what they're not going to do. A new government is coming because what I wanted to speak to earlier is that the reason why this keep happening is because we refuse to punish them. We refuse. We didn't punish the Nazis like we should have. We didn't punish the Confederates like we should have. We didn't punish the motherfuckers. Bro, there are people alive today that hung black people and cut their dicks off and set them on fire. They're alive today, bro. And some of them are in office. Fucking Trump's dad was in the Ku Klux Klan. He was arrested at a Klan rally. You know what I mean? Like, those people are alive today and they have power. Like, we refuse to punish them, but that's dead. I promise you. They fucked up. They picked the wrong time to do this. They did this in the day of the internet. This is not going to be hidden like you could hide. You can make Martin Luther King pictures in black and white to make people think it was a long time ago, like they do all the time, even though colored pictures existed back then. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that now. Like, this shit is yesterday. Even though it happened 10 years ago, the Epstein files have been talked about for about 10, 12 years now. It just gets ramped up and ramped up. It's going to keep getting ramped up. It's not, bro, that shit will not die. Aliens will come. We'll be like, oh, shit, it's aliens. And 3 months later, we'll be talking to the alien about the Epstein files. You know what I mean? Them Epstein files are not going away, bro.
Have you guys seen the sentence terms they've given to anti-ICE protesters? They've been giving them like 70 years, like decades long. I saw
They're
this
trying
yesterday.
to scare people. Yeah, fuck ICE.
Yeah, fuck ICE. Hell yeah, bro.
Like my dream.
Yeah, I
Straight,
feel like
man.
we're either going into like we're gonna go to a new style of government, or we're running straight into idiocracy.
No,
you
what do you
know?
mean running into it, nigga?
You know, like I
We
mean,
in it.
I tried to watch it
It's-
yesterday, but I didn't want
it's
to pay.
sickening
$4.
if you watch it today. Like I hadn't watched it in a while. I watched it a couple months ago. I was like, bro, we fucking this is where we
I'll
live.
watch it today. Fuck
You
it.
know what's crazy about that fucking movie? They were like doing the wardrobe, and they're like, hey, we want to like find a small company that like makes some shoes for the movie, and they asked this company like, hey, can you make like the most ridiculous shoe that just looks so stupid that no one would ever wear it? And if you go back and watch it, it's fucking Crocs. And that's how Crocs got their start, was from that movie. They designed that shoe to be
Crazy.
like the most like outlandish shit ever. And then you see like 10 years later, everyone rocking Crocs,
yeah, it's just-
everyone just like thinking like idiocracy. And it's just like, man.
Yeah. It's crazy times,
Too many
man.
triggers.
I'm glad that I've found some pockets of people and communities where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like we can get through this shit. You know what I mean? The rest of these motherfuckers, let's punish them and let's leave them in history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's leave them fucking there.
One more thing. Hey, Christians, y'all have duty to do. Rich, like real Christians, not these fake trans Christians. Motherfuckers. Hey, real Christians have a real fight. Because there are a lot of people claiming they're doing evil and spreading hate behind Christianity, and what's happening is they're making it look like Christians are at fault. And I'm not a Christian, not a religious person, but I'm starting to see the difference. That I know Christian people like Rich, my boy Chris Hurd, like when you come around them, it's like they radiate. You don't have to talk to them; they just radiate this peace and love and understanding, and that's what it meant back in the day. And now when I see a white Christian, I have to guess what type of fucking Christian you are. You know what I mean? Like, there's in the Bible, as a former Christian, there's a hateful God, there's a loving God, and there's a hateful God, a loving God, and a neutral God. They only talk about the hateful one.
And dumb bros. Appreciate you coming on.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, yeah, my
We'll
dude.
smoke
All right,
one.
let's get
go
high.
smoke one.
You off?
I brought some
Yeah,
things.
I'm
let's
off.
get
Oh, I
high.
got an ounce to give away too. So
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
how
hey,
y'all
yo,
want to do that. Yeah.
Hey, yo, so Dumb Bros and Queens Anne's, we're giving away an ounce of fucking weed.
Top shelf.
Yeah, top shelf,
That
an
and a
ounce of
t-shirt.
fucking weed and a t-shirt. We're giving that away if you have to tag Queens Anne Suppliers, ILM, Dumb Bros. You tag both of them and you have to make fun of us. The funniest person who makes fun of us gets an ounce of weed. If you, nothing's off limits. Racism, gay shit, whatever the fuck you want to say.
I like that.
Nothing's off limits. You have to make it funny, and we'll give you an ounce of weed. Dumb Bros, we out this bitch. Stay black.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Yeah. We forgot to talk about dick.